thank you guys for coming in for the internship. And so as I explained, so we will be working on through a lot of projects. So Wakas, you were just explaining something. So you had a question. So we go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was just saying that me and Mumtaz, we have done got a lot of basic projects. Whatever we have found on YouTube or resources from ChatGPT, we got lots of help from ChatGPT, and we deployed things on AWS as well. We both are solutions architect. Um, we have knowledge of how tools work and how different methodologies work. We have some basic understanding and some deep understanding of some of the tools as well. But what we are lacking when we go to interview, the very first question they ask is that what are you doing day to day in your workplace? Because when you show experience that you have done this and that, they ask what are your responsibilities day to day. So I was just hoping from this internship that if we can do this internship in a way that like we are just simulating everything how we work in real industry, or when you go to the office or working on site or even working remote, how things work, the sprint, and how tasks are divided between different teams and different employees within a setup. So if we can simulate that, that would be very helpful for us to put on resume and present that in our interviews as well. That will give us enough confidence to tell a story that that's how we do our day to day and the projects that we have worked on.
Yeah.
So
So I think
basically,
that that is
we are
that
trying
that
to, sorry.
yeah, I think that is quite possible. So we can start up with projects. So we've identified a couple of projects to start with. So I've got 3 projects we can start with, but we'll be coming up with more. So when it comes to Jira, we can of course use Jira for any work breakdowns, assigning people the different tasks. So for that, there should be a complex projects which we can divide between various people. People can do their own tasks. So for example, if there is CI/CD tasks, somebody would do that. If there is Terraform involved, other guys can do that. And then at the end, we all just combine together, do all that sort of testing.
Yeah,
Somebody can set up SonarQube, and we all do in similar sort of environment. So I
great.
think that is very much possible, and that is what the internship intends to get real hands-on projects experience so that you can talk about these projects even when you are going in an interview, and the experience that you will gain that will be quite valuable. So
Thank you.
another thing is that we will be having, when I say stand up, so I'm planning to have a daily stand up, maybe just for 5 minutes, just to do a status check, because even if you go in an organization, there are daily stand ups everywhere. So where employees just come in, they put in whatever they've done today or what they're planning to done tomorrow, and that's all about it. And if there's any hiccup, if anybody is stuck up somewhere, then they can get help around with all the different colleagues. So we'll be catching up at the same time, maybe just for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and everybody can get that sort of time, and then we just close it off. So not a huge time waster for everyone. We plan to close off this stand-ups in 10 minutes time at the max, right? But this is because today is the first session. I will explain what are the different projects, and I'll just divide these projects between everybody. And because these are small chunks at the moment, you can start doing it on your own. There's not a lot of work breakdown because these are all like simple steps projects which one person can do. But we'll come up with something complex which will require multiple people, and then we can do all this sort of work breakdowns too. Right?
Yeah. So we will, as mentioned by Vahas, we definitely want it to be as a work environment
Yeah.
where tickets are assigned. We have a code on Git that we pull up and all the stuff, and we send a request, merge request, and pull request and all the stuff. So exactly how the organization chart would work, we would like something. We actually have been working closely on few projects that we saw on YouTube and all the stuff. So basically, we're looking for something which will actually indulge us, in work environment, and make us like, we're not standing out. We are part of this crowd, and we can justify what we have in our resume.
Yeah. So now I'll just reiterate one more thing. This is not a training session. So I'll not be guiding you on any of the tech stacks as to how you do. If you get
Absolutely.
stuck up in a problem, you will have to find ways and figure it out,
Yeah,
because Yeah, I'll not be spending time much on debugging things and helping. But because this group might start becoming larger, you are still around 6 people. Two haven't turned up. Sorry, Rafe hasn't turned up. So 5 people in here. But you would be able to find help among yourself as well. So create a separate group. So we already have a WhatsApp group. You can start putting in any technical questions or anything where you're stuck up, and you should be able to find help among yourself. So let me just share my screen, and I will.
One question.
Yep.
So, I mean, if we are stuck or anywhere, so that means we have no help from your team.
No, not from me. So this, as I said, so all our resources and all the training sessions, they go towards the mentorship. So the internship is not supposed to provide any training or any sort of debugging. So that is something that we do in the mentorship program.
Okay.
Okay.
But obviously there would be things that we can discuss during our stand-up.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we'll be discussing things on stand up, and I'll be providing you some feedback on how to actually resolve it. But probably
Yeah,
I'll
that is what we are looking for. You know, we're looking for some support, some
yeah
kind of support and guidance as to how we finish that task.
yeah. But I'll not be doing the debugging.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let me just share my repositories. All right. So I've got 4 projects to start with in here. So we've got Netflix clone. We've got a Node.js project for CI/CD. So it's another DevOps CI/CD, and there's a Django Notes app. So these have been copied from across the internet, and we plan to actually execute it ourselves. But the idea is not to just do a copy. What we will do is we'll do some enhancements on it as well. So not just take the project and do it. We'll be putting a lot of enhancements to it. So for example, let me just share this back. Where is all right. So this is the first project that we have. So it's complete CI/CD Jenkins project with a Node.js application deployment. So if you go into this, so this is the solution architecture for the application. So wherein you've got an EC2, it connects to your GitHub. Then you've got Docker containers. You can do Docker Compose, create Jenkins CI/CD pipelines. You can build the Docker image, push it onto your Docker hub, and then execute the application. So this is a very detailed description of what needs to be done. So if you just follow step by step, there will not be any technical challenges that you will come across it. So if you look at it, so what is this application? What does it do? So in here is the GitHub code. So that's what the Git repository, one of the Git repositories I showed you. The application has 2 main files. How do you connect the Jenkins and the GitHub repository? It contains the exact guidelines on what are the steps that you need to do in order to connect your Git and Jenkins. So similarly, it shows step by step, and it also shows you with all the different screenshots in here. What do you do? It gives you specific commands as well. Under the build triggers, you do blah blah blah, and you enable the jobs. You can so this is how you configure it. You save the job. So it gives you exactly the step by step, all the different webhooks. How do you run the app using Docker Compose? It gives you a Docker file as well. So this is the complete Docker file that you need to do. It explains what this Docker file does, what are the ports to be exposed, and creating the Docker Compose YAMLs. Right. So it contains all the step by steps. All you need to do is follow these steps and then work through it. So you'll see that it's the project is it should be pretty easy to deploy if you're following just all the different steps in here. So there are similar 2 other packs as well. So this one is your Jenkins CI/CD. with Node.js. You got any questions on this?
No.
Yeah, because
it's
yep. So this is pretty straightforward. If you just
pretty straightforward.
if you just follow their steps, it gives you everything that you need to do in here, right? But
So all of us, we need to be doing from the scratch, or we have to do bits and then come together and
see, the repository also exists. So let me just share my whole screen so that you are able to. So if you look at this repository, so it already contains all the different source code here, right? So you've got all the source code, you've got the Jenkins files, you've got Docker Compose, you've got Docker file. Yeah, all the source code is available. What you
is this public, or we need to have some
no,
certain access?
So this will be a private repository, but I'll give you access to it.
Okay.
So I'll ask you to generate your SSH keys, and I'll give you the command how you generate it, and give me the public key. I'll add it to the repository, and you will have access to the whole DevOps Cloud Labs repository and all the different repositories it contains, the whole organization, right?
Okay.
So I'll keep on adding repositories to it. I'll keep on putting up the projects like these, whichever I find useful. All the projects will have the detailed steps on what you need to follow. But what will happen is once you are actually doing these projects, you will start gaining a lot of insight into what goes into connecting Git and Jenkins, and then you will also be integrating lots of other stuff which is not mentioned in here. So,
right.
And I'll explain that as well in a moment. So the next one is.
And I mean, these are going to be helpful when it comes to cloud engineer positions as well, right?
Well, it depends on the project, but the projects will be of varied different types of profiles. So not only cloud engineers, so you've got CI/CD pipelines. You've got there'll be projects on Terraform. There'll be projects on your security related projects. So SonarQube. So there'll be a variety of projects, and you will get insights into multiple different types of deployments as well. So you can use ECS, you can use EKS, you can all use all the different tech stacks. It's not necessary to follow these steps. This is just one way to do it. But there are. I'll also explain what are the different other tools that you can start integrating into, because this is very basic. So for example, if you see deploying a Django Notes app on an EC2 instance using the CI/CD pipeline. So there's an application given. So developer would connect to this the Notes app. There'll be a GitHub webhook. So that would trigger Jenkins. It would build the image. It would push the image in Docker Hub, and then this will get deployed into an Amazon EC2 instance. So this is very simplistic. If you see in here, there's no DevSecOps involved, so you don't have any SonarQube. Jenkins is old school, so you can replace Jenkins with the GitHub Actions, or you can replace Jenkins with your GitLab. So you can do all that sort of stuff. So we don't really want you to execute it the way it is. This is just the basic way that if you really don't know how to do it, you have each and every step in here. So what are the different prerequisites, right? How do you do Docker installations? How do you do Jenkins installations? There are all specific commands in there. You do a Docker Compose.
In installing this Jenkins and Dockers, we are pros now. We have done so many projects.
Yeah,
Honestly speaking,
yeah, and that is
yeah,
the
we have
reason.
practiced that so much.
And that is the reason why you should not just be following that. I just today I created a profile. Let me see where it is.
honestly speaking, we can actually just follow the documents on Docker and Jenkins and install it. We don't need this
Yeah,
document
absolutely.
as well. So that is completely fine. We are very comfortable with that.
Okay. And I'm looking for.
Oh, hi, sir. Hello. Hi.
And
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Hello.
Yep.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, Ryan.
Yeah, sir. Rafe this side. So just quickly joining. I just had this one question.
Mhm.
Will you be assigning the projects to us, or we will
No,
have to?
I will be assigning the projects.
Okay, right.
And Rafa, just
Actually,
yeah,
yeah.
tell me.
So like this the project which was the Node.js CI/CD, I've like executed. I mean, I've done it in the past, so I could pick it up.
Okay. So if you have if you want to choose a project, you're free to do it. But if you
Okay.
have no idea, then I'll just assign any of them. So
Yeah, that
And
probably I could execute that Node.js CI/CD.
And Saurabh, if we could do projects other than those which are very famous amongst the DevOps
Can we
and
do something with
those
Terraform?
who are learning, and not even with using different tools, but something different. I mean, you mentioned about Netflix, but the number of people have mentioned about doing Netflix clone, and they deployed the application. So instead of these, some other complex projects, if you can come up with.
so we will come
Yeah,
up with
that
those
would be
complex
great.
projects. So don't worry about the
Okay.
complexity. So we will be coming up with with more complex projects. Now I can't find. I did save an image
Because
today.
you probably would know that in the UK the market is very competitive now.
The market is very competitive everywhere.
Yeah. The recruiters, they now expect you to come up with all the tools, all the technologies in your head.
I was actually looking at your project on this DevOps group that you posted today, I think, or yesterday. That was a live project
Yeah,
where
that's
you
currently.
guys did a Scrum SaaS company
Yes.
from scratch.
Yep.
So, I mean, I know it takes a lot of things to do that, but will we be able to do something like that as well?
That is too complex and might require actually. It would require a lot of inputs on AWS control tower, setting up multi region.
Yeah, that is actually really fascinating. I was actually going through it, and I thought, if that is also part of see, even if you assign this SaaS company project to me and Vakas, we can work together on it. I mean, we will help each other to find some solution. If we are stuck somewhere, we would just like your input give us the input in the
The
when
feedback or
we have the yeah.
I could join you guys if you guys permit me.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's
initially,
absolutely fine. Come along.
for a week, let's do the small projects. Then give us something like this, and we will be more confident after we do one or two projects.
Yep.
Then if we pick up something like that, it will actually be very, very, very much. I mean, beneficial for us.
Okay. All right.
Right. I completely agree with that.
All right. Let me think on it. Probably we can, but we would not be going step by step. So if you're able to do it, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, I will agree with Saurabh. If we can take it step by step, that would be
Yeah.
good.
First finish up these guys.
Yes.
Once you start gaining confidence, then
Yeah.
there's a lot of time to do a lot of complex projects. Right. So this is the image that I wanted to bring up. So if you see in here, among all these different tool sets, so there are lots of different tools that we can apply to all these simple projects, right? So
Yeah.
instead of using Jenkins, I would prefer that if you can use maybe GitHub Actions, or you can use your GitLab for CI, and then start using different sort of tools, especially start integrating the DevSecOps, put in SonarQube and Sneak, all these different types of different other flavors. So also you can you get a flavor of what the different tools and their capabilities are. Instead of creating infrastructure just using your console, you can use Terraform. So that would bring
Yeah.
a separate flavor to the little projects which seem very simple. So this is one way to do it, and this is a very basic way to do it, right?
We can, instead of
I
using
think
Jenkins here on this project, we can
it,
use Terraform, right?
Yes. No, you can use GitHub Actions or GitLab,
Not
and
Terraform.
Terraform depends on what the app is. So Terraform, normally you don't deploy apps through Terraform,
Okay.
but you use
Infrastructure,
Jenkins is
yeah.
for
used
the
for builds.
How about Pulumi?
You can Pulumi. I haven't worked on Pulumi, but maybe you can.
No, I'd never heard
Don't
of
know.
it as well.
So yeah,
Epulumi
it's
is
like
another
a new thing
infrastructure
to
provision.
infrastructure code.
So you can create these EC2 instances using your Terraform, right? So you can start bringing complexity into these simple projects itself. So you don't need to just build a whole new complex scenario. You can start using the different tools, and even this project will come up like to a medium level complexity. But if you don't really know much about it, so this gives you a complete hands-on, like step-by-step guidance on what exactly to be done along with the SQL parts, right? So
I think it's quite noisy behind. It's I think Ryan, if you could please mute.
yeah,
Thank you.
okay. And there
It's
is
actually, by the way, Rafi.
Oh, Rafe, sorry.
yeah, Ryan. Rafa. We get confused because your name is coming up as Ryan.
Ryan, yeah.
So, and there's one more project yeah, this is interesting. So this is deploying a Reddit clone. So I think it's very similar to deploying the Netflix app. So there will be an app somewhere, and then you can start reading it and going through this and how you do a deployment, right? So it comes up with its own set of all the instructions. And if you're just doing the deployments and just using all these different Docker files and all, so that should be pretty easy. Like you've got deployment.x YAMLs, service YAMLs, and if you just start looking into the code,
Yeah. I'll take it. So,
yeah. Sorry, who is that?
Sayed,
Sayed?
this is
Okay.
assigned to me, please.
Yeah. So okay, what I'll do is I'll share these documents with you all. You pick and choose which project you want to do first, right? And because I would like you to, and I'll be coming up with more projects, so not everybody has to do all the same. I've got 3 at the moment. You can pick and choose which you want to do, but at least ensure that all of you are doing at least one separate. Like don't not all 5 of you should be doing just one of them, but just split all these 3 among you guys. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll grant you access to Git repository, and you can start creating your own branches there, and do everything in a branch. Do not do it on the main, and then once it is done, we'll merge it with the main. Now there is one more thing which I wanted to tell you. Uh, this is regarding, and which one was that? I think this one was that. Yeah, regarding the README. So it's important to create a good README file. So I've created in this particular repository, node to do CI/CD, I've created a README file here. So we'll keep up using this template. So we've got a little introduction here for our channel, and then we've got a project title, we've got project description, we've got prerequisites, we've got solution design, solution description. So whatever you do, and just any additional info. So we've kept it a very simple template for the designs, but the README should be such that if anybody else is trying to attempt it, they should be able to actually walk through it. And so what all you need to do is create a separate branch in here, work on your local, just to clone the branch, put in everything that you need to do, even the README on your branch, and then once we merge it, it will come down to the main, right? So we will not be working on the main branch directly. All right. And that's how we will continue to do. So what I'll do now is I'll send you the commands how you should be generating the SSH file. Give me your public keys. I'll add it to the repository, and then you will be having access to all these different repositories. I think at the moment it is public. I'll have to make it private and then grant you access. Right?
Sure.
Try to make these complex if you can. So I would not be expecting until I see exactly how your skill sets are and how you're making it. But whenever you're using EC2, you can create a Terraform to do that. Whenever you're using either Jenkins or any CI, you can integrate different type of security tools with it. So and that is how you start making these. Even the deployment, sometimes you can have rolling deployments, sometimes you can have blue-green deployments. You can start mentioning what are the different benefits of the different types of deployments that you're putting in, and try to make the README as rich as possible. So that would make a very good solution design then. So this is a template in here. You should be able to create these diagrams. You know how to create these diagrams, right? You can do these in Draw.io. Have anybody used Draw.io?
Yes, it's pretty simple.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so just use Draw.io. If you're making any changes, let's say if you're using Sneak or if you're using SonarQube, just make some changes to show those integration points as well. So make it as rich as possible. And once you are familiar with doing these type of projects, you should be able to explain these in an interview in a very good fashion. And then slowly we'll start keeping it more complex as well. So once we start doing it. Okay. All right. So
Perfect.
I think if there are, anybody has any questions on this?
Sir,
So
actually most of the things are here we are using are like open source only, but the AWS will like if I'm having a free tier account, but someone will not having
Yeah.
a free tier.
So we have a plan for that. We might be able to put in a one-time credit in your AWS accounts. So we are trying to arrange a few vouchers from AWS if they can provide us. So we'll be putting in a one-time credit of $50 if we can. So that should last you pretty much if you're using it quite optimal in an optimal way.
Okay, okay.
So
Until then, we
be
need
able
to
to
use our
apply
resource.
those credits in your account.
Until then, we need to
Right. So
use
I'll
our resources.
confirm to you as to how we do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
sir, one more thing. I
All
joined a
right.
bit
So
late.
Rafi, you
So
were not here when we were discussing this. So we'll be
yeah,
having
yeah. So please could you
just
like
5 minute
sum it up?
stand-ups. The end goal is to create very crisp, demonstrable videos, very crisp, all the README files. And if you can make these projects more challenging from your end, including new tools, that would be a very good flavor to it. Not only to your
One
learning, but also it will enrich the project as well for the
hello,
next people who are using it. And
hello, sir.
you know how to put these README files, right? So whenever you're putting in a command like this, so if you are not really sure, just have a look at this README, and then you will know how actually the syntax is, right? So it's not too difficult. All right. So after this meeting is done, I will share all the project files on the WhatsApp group that we have. You can pick and choose which projects you want to do, but make sure that at least one project is distributed amongst all of you. Like we've got 3 projects, so each one, at least 3 people are doing each one of them, right? And I'll be making these repositories as private, and I'll grant you access separately to each of them.
I could
You will
probably
make
pick up with the
contributions while these videos are getting public.
yeah. One more thing, sir, I would like to add.
Okay,
So
all right. Thank you, guys. And this is what I had to
hello,
say today. And
hello, sir, I'm audible.
we'll catch up again on Monday. But if there's
Hello?
not much progress, one more thing. So if you guys are not planning to attend the meeting, it's just as simple as just letting me know beforehand that you'll not be attending the meeting. And You don't even need to specify a reason as to why, but at least let me know beforehand if you're not attending, right? So that's fine.
I think Rafe has got a question.
Yeah, so what I was telling is that I could get started with that Jenkins CI/CD for a Node.js application, and if anyone wants to join me, they could join me probably, as there are only 3 projects as of now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. And I'll create a WhatsApp group for all of us to join separately, if that's okay with you guys.
Sir, one thing I want to ask.
Yep.
We only need to create a video, or we need to create a document as mentioned, as you showed.
You need to create the README file, as I said.
README, other than README, a document file with pictures and all things, steps explained.
I think if you are changing anything on the document that we have,
Okay.
yeah, it would be good if you can just update. Yeah.
It would be better if we add our own creativity to it, I guess.
Yeah, I would expect that if you can do that, that would be awesome.
Okay, sir.
Yep.
And sir, we will be having 4 members here, 4 or 5 members, but projects are 3. So, who will do which project? So,
okay, let's decide now.
yes.
Okay. So the first project that I have is complete CI/CD project with Node.js application deployment. So who wants to take that?
I can, as I said, I can take it.
Okay, hold on. Let me note it down.
And if someone wants to join me, they could probably, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I will join you, Ryan. Amitabh here. Hi, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then we could.
So I will give it to Rafe and Amitabh. Okay. The next one is deploy a Django Notes app on an EC2 instance using Jenkins declarative CI/CD pipeline.
Me and Sayed will do that.
Okay. That will be on.
Is that okay with you, Sayed?
Yeah, we can do that. I was hoping for the Kubernetes one, but it's okay.
You okay, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. And then last one I have is deploy a Reddit clone with Ingress enabled.
Sir,
Yeah, we'll try that one as well if that is okay.
Kubernetes and all.
Sorry?
I'm not that familiar with Kubernetes. So.
Okay.
So I mean, we'll try that as well. I mean, anyhow, it's project.
So deploy a Reddit clone would be with who? Again, Sayed and Wakas?
Yeah.
So Niketan, what would you want to do?
Anything like you said about the Netflix clone or something. I'm familiar with it, so I can.
Oh, yeah, we can do. Okay, so let me see if I have a document on it. All right, so you can do a Netflix clone. That's fine. So I'll create a document on it, or otherwise I'll provide you with some inputs on how to do it. So that's fine. So Netflix clone will be with Niketan.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll keep notes of this. And cool. That's all for now. If there is any progress, we'll have a catch up on Monday, right? I think we should have a catch up on Monday. There will be anyway 2 days past, and then we'll.
You mentioned about the keys generating.
Yes. Let me add your keys to. Let me make those repositories private first, and I'll send you commands, and then you can send me your keys separately, or even if it's a public key, you can send it to me on WhatsApp. I'll add you on. Okay. Cool.
Sure. Thank you.
All right.
So much.
Thanks, guys, and I'll see
Thank you. Take care, bye.
Cheers.
Thanks, Saurabh. Thank you.
Nice meeting you guys. See you.
Same.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.